Shane Simmons, the Appalachian Project, and I am coming at you today from Pennington Gap, Virginia, in Lee County. Now, Pennington Gap is the largest town in Lee County, but it's not the county seat. That is Jonesville. But we're coming up here into the main part of town, and we'll pull into this old shopping center for a second. Looks like it's mostly defunct now, but there's a little landmark that catches my eye when I come through here. Looks like it's mostly vacant. But you'll see the named Adia's Boxing Gym. And the reason that stands out to me is back in the day, I was a huge boxing fan when I was growing up, and there was a local fighter from Pennington Gap named Barry Adia, who actually became world ranked and fought on ESPN and USA Network a few times. And his nickname was the Pennington Pounder. And I actually saw him fight in Richlands a couple of times, I think, as a youngster, and he always acquitted himself well and represented our area in a positive way. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Barry Adia if he's still around. He left an impression on quite a few youngsters back in the day, and it looks like at one time at least he had a boxing gym to teach the sweet science to others. Now, as we're coming into town, you'll see there's a shopping center over the hill here. That's anchored by Food City, and it looks like they got a fairly new Taco Bell over here. When we get to this red light, we may take a little drive to the high school. Now, the high school has been consolidated here. This is one of the many counties in Virginia that have been pounded, no pun intended after I said the Pennington Pounder, but it's been pounded by a population drop. So they consolidated into Lee High School, and the Lehigh Generals to be exact. But the old high school was the Pennington Bobcats, which was one of my favorite mascot names back in its time. But it is no longer with us. We have the Lehigh Generals, and a lot of people think that Lee County was named after Robert E. Lee, but that is not accurate. It was named after Light Horse Harry Lee, who happened to be Robert E. Lee's dad. He had a lot of impact on this area, so just wanted to clarify that part. And we're going down Bobcat Lane, which is a shout out to the old Pennington Bobcats, of course. This is actually the middle school, and if somebody can correct me, and please do if you will, I believe this was the old high school when Pennington was in operation. I may be wrong about that, but please correct me if I am. And I will go. So I'm not mistaken, the new high school is in Ben-Hur, which is a story for another time, how it got its name. So we'll take a trip around here and head back downtown. And again, apologize for my dirty windshield. Give a shout out to Mr. Ralph Griffith. He likes to point that out to me. So, and he's 86 years old. And enjoys our videos, so he's earned that right. I got unscrubbed it for you though, buddy, if you're out there listening. And here we go into town. There's see a Hardee's and popping over the ridge here, and up here pretty close we're going to head towards St. Charles. I'm going to do a video on that town as well here very shortly, but I wanted to give you a look at Pennington Gap and give you a little bit of a backstory on that. Thankfully, I had this first red light since I've been on this trip that I've actually got through quickly. So you'll see Jonesville's just about 8 miles down the road from here, and they're kind of connected. I think of them a lot of times as basically the same place, but I know that's not necessarily accurate, obviously. About a couple of churches, the First United Methodist Church on the left, and the right is the First Baptist Church. We have a little railroad crossing right in the middle of town, which is not unusual at all for these older coal towns. And they got a Country Boy Cafe down here. It looks like something I need to check out sometime. Dusty Monkey. That reminds me, it's an antique store. Let's see. And here's the Lee Theater. Speaking of the antique store, though, getting back to that, the last time I was in Pennington Gap, I got pulled over at a traffic stop and road check, and the cops were going through my car, and I'd just been to Gate City to an antique store and bought a moonshine jug, of all things. So I had to pop the cork, and that's the First Christian Church. I had to pop the cork and show that there was no contents inside, so that's kind of embarrassing, and but I got off the hook, thankfully. And there is a monstrous Lee Bank and Trust Company. We're about to roll out of town. I will cut this one off. You can see a lot of nice brick houses up and through here too. Very beautiful town, really. And I'll let it shoot through. So hopefully we can pick up the fog in the background. It's really pretty today too. But there you have it. That is Pennington Gap, Virginia, in Lee County. And I will see you on the next video.